Sing for the holiday, the happy holiday. Sing for the holiday. Sing for the holiday, the happy holiday.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. So this is hopefully going to be a pretty festive reading vlog because it's currently the 5th of December and I have not even started my December TBR yet. So I want to try and do that this week. There are two readathons that I'm hoping to take part in this month. So the first is the Festive Readathon, which is hosted by Steph from Steph Loves, and then the other is Book Snooker or Book Christmas, which is hosted by Helen from Helen's Book Haven. So I'll leave both announcement videos in the description if you would like to find out more. I think by the time that this vlog goes live, both of those readathons will be over. But yeah, I have a lot of festive books on my TBR this month, which I'm really excited to get round to. The first book I have technically already started. I've only read, I think, the first 50 pages, something like that. And that is Inner Holidays by Christina Lauren, which I think was pretty popular last year when it came out. I haven't heard many reviews for it this year, but I heard a lot of reviews for it last year and I think they were kind of mixed. But this is a contemporary romance with a sci-fi twist. So it follows a woman called May who, at the start of the book, she's on this holiday with her family but also family friends. So every Christmas they go to this log cabin. It's set in Utah actually, in Park City, which I have been to because my dad lives in Utah. So I like that I can kind of picture the setting and how it's very snowy and there's lots of mountains and stuff. But yeah, every year May and her family friends go to this cabin. It's her parents and her parents' friends and their kids, even though they're now grown up and they're all in their 20s. On the last night of the holiday, she gets a little bit drunk on eggnog and kisses one of her childhood friends, and things are a little bit awkward because May actually has a crush on the older brother Andrew. She's had a crush on him since she was like 16, and so yeah, things are a little bit of a mess. And then on the drive home from the cabin, May and her family get into a car accident and she wakes up and finds that she's on the plane going to this holiday. So it's almost like she's gone back in time a week and she ends up in this Groundhog Day situation where she's reliving this same weekend over and over again. This is the first book that I've ever read by Christina Lauren, and so far I'm liking the writing style, but also it's a little bit cheesy. There was one quote that I wrote down from the first chapter that just made me laugh, and it went a little something like, "How does one move on from a man so kind of heart and fine of ass?" which I think kind of summarises the general tone of this book so far. The main character is fine. I don't hate her, but also I'm a little nervous that she's going to get more annoying as the book goes on. And the one thing I am nervous about with this book actually is just because of the plot. I'm worried that it's going to feel a little bit repetitive because she is literally reliving the same situations over and over again, except that she's the only one that's in this situation. Everyone else thinks that they're going through this weekend for the first time. I do also have the audiobook for this because it's available through Scribd, and so I'm hoping I can finish it within the next few days because it's not a long book. It's only, I think, about 300 pages, something like that, because the next book that I want to pick up is Anxious People by Frederick Backman. So I'm buddy reading this with my dad because I got him a copy of this book for Christmas last year, and he is flying over from America for Christmas. I think his flight leaves Salt Lake on Wednesday, something like that, or he arrives on Wednesday. He arrives at some point this week and I'm really excited to see him, but I know that he's going to be starting Anxious People on the journey over to the UK. So we're going to be reading it obviously at the same time so that we can chat about it, and I'm really excited because I don't think I've ever done a proper buddy read with my dad before. He's only really recently got back into reading, probably I think since the start of this year or late last year, and I've heard that Anxious People is one of those books where, because it's very character driven and just the general tone of it, I've heard that it's very emotional and that it is the type of book that makes you think. So I'm hoping that we're going to have a lot to talk about. Otherwise though, I am obviously working this week, but I am hoping that I will be able to watch some Christmas films at some point, because one of the prompts for the Festive Readathon is to watch a Christmas film, and I love Christmas films, so definitely want to do that, I will actually put the bingo board for the Festive Readathon on the screen here so you can see, because I really like the prompts for this. They're quite broad, and also there's a few prompts that are to do with things outside of reading. So that's why I thought it would be a fun readathon to take part in, because I have been so busy recently and I've been trying to keep on top of my reading because I love reading, but also it would be nice to have a little bit of a chilled one this week. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this intro. I will catch up with you when I have reading updates. So it is really, really late on Monday evening, and I wanted to do a quick update because I'm 60% of the way through Inner Holidays, and I thought if I don't update you now, then I'm just not going to update you until I finish it. But I want to give some initial thoughts now that I'm 60% of the way through, because I don't know if I'm enjoying this. I don't hate it, but also I don't think it's my personal favourite type of romance because it's really, really cheesy, and I don't really feel a lot of chemistry between the main characters. There's also a lot of characters in this, and I'm finding with the audiobook I keep getting a little bit confused over who is who and who's being mentioned, and it's just, yeah, I don't think it's my kind of romance is what I'm trying to get at. And also, talking about the audiobook, the narrator keeps doing an Australian accent for one of the characters who's meant to be Australian, so obviously it makes sense, but they're not doing a very good job, and it's a little bit jarring at times. If I had to give a prediction at this halfway point, I would say that it's probably going to end up being about 3 stars. I'm not hating the experience of listening to it. It's quite an easy listen, if that makes sense, and I do like the setting and how it feels very festive, and so it's not a bad book. I think it's just maybe not quite for me. So I have a little problem at the moment where this cat that isn't mine keeps coming into my house and it won't leave, and I don't know what to do about it because I can't block the cat flap off permanently because then my cat won't be able to get in, but it just won't leave and it's being really, really clingy. So that's my drama for this week. But I did earlier actually finish Inner Holidays by Christina Lauren, and I think I might have been a bit harsh on this yesterday because it's not bad. Like, it wasn't good in my opinion, but it wasn't awful. Like, it wasn't bad enough that I wanted to DNF it, because I was generally enjoying the plot and I was interested enough to find out what was going to happen. But the dialogue and the writing was just really, really cheesy, and there were certain moments that just made me cringe, and I was getting secondhand embarrassment on behalf of these characters. So yeah, I think I'm going to give it 3 stars overall because I feel kind of neutral about it. It was fun and it was festive. Hello, can I help you? What was I even saying? But yeah, I also didn't like any of the male characters or the 2 brothers that were sort of the love interests in this. I really, really hated one of them, and then the other I liked to start with, and then they just went down in my estimations towards the end. Also, there was a really, really long epilogue at the end, and I'm not the biggest fan of epilogues anyway in romance books, but this one felt unnecessarily long. I would still like to try some of the books by Christina Lauren, but I am a little nervous that maybe their writing just isn't for me. Good morning and happy Thursday. So I didn't vlog yesterday because I was in a bad mood and I didn't want to bring the tone of the vlog down because I want this vlog to feel fun and festive. So yeah, yesterday was really, really up and down because I didn't have the best start to the day. I woke up and left my house to go to the train station, and it was the worst weather, like wind and rain, and just generally it felt really, really miserable. And then I got to the train station and found that my train had been cancelled. So I had to wait for half an hour for the next one, and it was cold, and yeah. When I actually got into work, it was fine. Like, I actually had a pretty good day yesterday at work, and my dad's flight landed safely, so he's officially in the UK, which is really, really good, obviously. I haven't seen him yet because I've got to wait for his PCR test result to come back, so hopefully I should be able to see him at the weekend. Also, when I got back from work, I found a parcel waiting for me, and I was really, really confused because I didn't think that I'd ordered anything, but also I have a habit of ordering stuff and then forgetting about it, especially around this time of year when I'm ordering Christmas presents and stuff. Okay, so if the camera angle has changed, it's because there was literally just a knock on the door. Gosh, I'm out of breath. There was literally just a knock on the door with some more Christmas presents arriving, but I can't remember what I was saying. I think I was talking about how I got home last night and there was a parcel waiting for me, and it ends with us by Colleen Hoover, which was very kindly sent to me by my friend Helen. The gift note says, "Hope you have a wonderful birthday and fabulous Christmas, Sam, from Helen at Helen's Bookhaven." And thank you so much, Helen, for sending this to me, because like I said, I was not having a good day yesterday, and this definitely brightened up my day. All I wanted to do yesterday when I got in was watch a Christmas film, and so the film that I decided to watch was Single All the Way, which I think is a new one that Netflix brought out recently. It was alright actually. It was definitely very cozy and festive. It's about a guy whose family always take the mick out of him because he's always single, and he convinces his best friend to come home with him for Christmas and pretend to be his boyfriend. But before they can do the whole fake dating situation, his mum turns around and says that she's setting him up on a blind date with a new guy at her gym. And yeah, it's kind of this love triangle situation, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I would recommend it. I don't think it's a new favourite Christmas movie of all time, but I definitely watch it again, maybe next Christmas. I tend to do that a lot with Christmas movies, is that I watch the same ones over and over again. Although this year I still need to watch It's a Wonderful Life, which is my all-time favourite Christmas movie. And I feel like I'm rambling and I haven't even got round to reading updates yet. So the other night I made a start on Anxious People by Frederick Backman, which I think I mentioned. I'm buddy reading this with my dad. He's really enjoying it, which I'm obviously really happy about because I got him this book for Christmas last year and I was hoping that he would like it. I don't know if I'm loving it as much as him. It's fine so far, but the writing style feels very different to the other Frederick Backman books that I've read. Parts of this book are written in the second person perspective, so you did this and you did that, and it's not my favourite type of writing. I do really struggle with books when they're written in the second person perspective, so I'm going to read some more of this tonight. I think I'm about 50 or 60 pages in. I was reading a little bit last night before I went to bed, but this basically follows a few different characters and it all centres around this bank robbery that went wrong, and the person who was robbing the bank or trying to rob the bank ended up taking these people hostage in this apartment building. Then there's also a mystery around what happened to this person, and like I said, I'm not that far into it yet, but I would say trigger warning so far for suicide if you are thinking of reading this. But I think that's everything that I wanted to say in this update. I sound really confused. I feel like this update has just been a little bit all over the place, but I'll catch up with you when I have more thoughts on Anxious People. I'm about halfway through now and I'm feeling really, really conflicted about this book because on the one hand, I can see exactly what the author is trying to do with this story, and I do like the discussions around mental health and things like that, and I like how every so often there'll be a little twist and it'll add something to the bigger picture, and so all of that I am really enjoying. However, what I'm struggling with is still the writing style and how it feels a little bit tedious at times, and it's quite frustrating the way that these characters are interacting with each other. So throughout this book, every so often you'll get an interview between the police who are investigating and then the people that were caught up in this hostage situation. And it feels like they're taking forever to get to the point, and they're talking around certain things and not actually answering the question. And it's difficult because I think that that is a stylistic choice that the author has made to write it that way, to create this frustration. But I'm just not enjoying reading those parts. But overall, I am still enjoying it. So I feel, like I said, really conflicted. I can definitely see why this is a very polarising book and why some people seem to love it and some people seem to hate it, and I don't know yet what side I'm going to fall on just because of the way that it's making me feel at the moment. I don't know. I don't know. Forgot to mention actually, but I did also start another audiobook, so I'm currently listening to The Christmas Escape by Sarah Morgan, and I'm going to hold off on sharing my full thoughts on this. But so far I'm about a third of the way through, and I don't think that this is quite what I was expecting, because I thought that this would be about a woman who takes her best friend's daughter to Lapland and she ends up having a romance while she's there. And I'm about a third of the way through, and so far we're not even in Lapland yet, I don't think, or we might just be about to get to Lapland. The book is actually told from a few perspectives, so we have this story that's following this woman Alex who's in Lapland, but then we also have her best friend Christy at home. So Christy is the mother of the daughter that's gone to Lapland with Alex, and yeah, Christy is having some problems with her marriage, and I didn't know that that was going to be a thing within the book because I don't care. I don't care about Christy's relationship drama, and it's really frustrating to read about. It's annoying because I feel like I've not really loved any of the books that I've read in this vlog yet, and I was so excited to film this vlog and it's just not going the way that I planned. Another thing about the audiobook as well is that the chapters are really long, so I think the chapter that I'm about to start is like an hour long, and I do tend to prefer shorter audiobooks. It's not going well this week, it's not going well, but it is now Friday evening, so I'm going to pop round to my mum's this evening and maybe watch another Christmas film, and hopefully I can finish these books over the weekend. Hey everyone, so before I get into reading updates, I wanted to open this on camera because I am really curious as to what this is. I'm pretty sure that it's a book off my wish list because it came with a gift note and the gift note actually slipped out before I even had a chance to open it, and it's from Nat and it says, "Happy birthday, Sam. I've been super curious about this book for a while, so intrigued to hear your thoughts, and I can't think what this book is, so I thought I would open it if I can actually open it, and we will find out together." Oh, okay. So it's The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow, which I have been really intrigued about this as well because I've heard that it has a very beautiful writing style and it's about witches during the suffragette movement, and so apparently it's very feminist. Also, the cover is absolutely beautiful. I don't know how well that's gonna show up on camera, but yeah, thank you, Nat. I'm gonna send you a message actually to say thanks, but I am really excited to read this. It's a little bit thicker than I expected it to be. I have actually now finished reading Anxious People by Frederick Backman, and I need to sit on my rating for this for a while because I feel like when I last updated you on this book, I wasn't really enjoying it. However, I liked the second half a lot more than the first half. The way that this book starts, it felt a little bit like a sitcom. I know I've already mentioned the writing style and how it wasn't really gelling with me, and I wanted to just clarify that I don't think it's the translation that's the issue. I actually looked up who the translator was for this book, and I think that it was Neil Smith is the name of the translator, who also translated Beartown, which I read last year, and I really loved Beartown. I gave it 5 stars, and so I don't think it is a translation an issue. I think that the writing is fine. It's just that it wasn't quite clicking with me in the beginning. There were certain lines in this book that I really wanted to highlight because they felt like a punch to the gut, just in the way that they were so very poignant. Also, this book is set around New Year's Eve, so even though it's not the most festive book, I did like reading it around this time of year. I would say that if you're looking for a book that is a little more emotional, that's set around this time of year, then I would recommend it. Good morning. So I am here to wrap up this vlog. I haven't finished The Christmas Escape by Sarah Morgan. I think I'm about 44% of the way through, and I was going to try and finish it today so that I could talk about it in this vlog, but I don't think that's going to happen because, yeah, I've got about 6 hours left on the audiobook. The thing about this book is that I'm enjoying half of it. So I'm enjoying the story between Alex and Zach, I think is her love interest. I actually think they have really good chemistry, and I really like Zach as a character. I think he's quite funny, and so I'm interested to see how their relationship is going to develop, but I don't like Christine or Christy and Seb's storyline. I don't care. I think I said that in my last update, but I didn't know that this was going to have a second chance romance type story within it, and I know that I don't like second chance romance stories. In terms of the readathons that I was taking part in this week, I'm pretty sure that I have completed the festive readathon. I'm pretty sure that I have ticked off all of the prompts, but I think that I had to double up or triple up on some of them, and I hope that that's allowed. I probably should have double checked actually, but I'm pretty sure that it's allowed to double up on certain prompts, so I'm going to count that as a win. For Book Snooker, I think I've ticked off 3 of the 5 colours, because before I started this read and vlog, I'd read a book with a white cover, then Inner Holidays counted for a green cover, then Anxious People counted for a gold cover, or I could actually count it for a red cover because the UK edition of the book does have a red cover. Then I think the other colours were silver, which one of the books that I'm currently reading does have silvery grey on the cover, so that would count, even though I don't think I'm going to finish that before the end of Book Christmas. Yeah, I think Book Christmas finishes on the 14th, so there's 2 days to go, and I don't think I'm gonna complete it, but I've had a good go, and so I'm really proud of what I've read this week. Even though I didn't end up loving all of the books that I was reading, it has been quite a nice and fun festive week. And also I got my hair cut today. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that, but I got curtain bangs cut in, which I am liking, but also I feel like I need to do something with the rest of my hair and just work out how I can style it. I'm gonna stop rambling now because I need to pop into town now to pick up some Christmas presents that I ordered, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of my day. Probably watch another Christmas movie, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comments what you've been reading this week and if you've been taking part in either of these readathons, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and click subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.